Welcome to Real Estate Real Talk with me, Skyleigh. I'm a realtor, coach, and founder of Forever Kamloops and Forever Kelowna Real Estate Groups and the creator of Elevation Real Estate, the realtor coaching platform. After nearly a decade in this industry, I've built a business that gives me more freedom, more income, and more time with the people I love. And now I'm here to help other realtors do the same. This podcast is for agents who want to build a thriving real estate business without burning out. We talk about scaling smart and building systems so you can buy back your life, because life shouldn't feel like all work and no play. And if you're a buyer or seller tuning in, consider this your backstage pass. You'll hear unfiltered conversations with top agents and industry pros, giving you the same insights we share behind closed doors. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better you can advocate for yourself and work with someone who truly has your back. Let's get real. Okay, today we are with Amy, Leong and Ally Ballam, and I am so excited for you guys to be here today. Thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
We're excited.
Super excited. Yeah, it's so cool. And little background about myself as well. You guys don't know this, but I love investing. I actually had 4 houses before I turned 30. So seeing your guys' bio, I was like, oh, these ladies are after my heart. I'm like, this is going to be a fun conversation. And I also had an Airbnb at one point as well. So yeah, I was like, this is going to be such a fun conversation for us. Plus, you guys do the cross-border program, and who doesn't love to travel, especially to Mexico? So I think that's super amazing. So I'm just going to give a little bit of background for you guys before we get started, because I am going to ask so many questions. You guys are going to teach me so much stuff today. I'm really excited about that. But just background for anybody who is listening, Amy and Allie are a powerhouse real estate duo, I'm stuttering on my words, at Engel and Völkers in Vancouver. You guys have done more than $1 billion in closed transactions, which is a wildly impressive number. For people who are listening, that is a impressive number. You guys are ranked in the top 10 teams in North America and Mexico, top 1% for agents in Greater Vancouver. And Greater Vancouver, you guys, Vancouver is a tough market. You guys have so many agents there. So again, kudos to you guys. And you guys are focusing on luxury listings to Airbnbs, cash flow investments around the globe. Amy, you have infectious energy and expert insight to empower every homeowner investor that you connect with. I am excited to feel the energy through the podcast. Oh, and then you guys mentioned, again, the cross-border program. I did want to just drop that one more time, because that is a very unique aspect to your guys' business as well. So yeah, I think this is going to be an amazing conversation. And last but not least, new owners and the first and only Engel and Völker brokerage in Tulum, Mexico. So we're going to touch base on that too. So is there anything else that you guys want to add before we get into it and I drill you guys for the most information possible?
I would just say, recently, not recently for Amy, but Amy is also licensed in Los Cabos, Mexico. And I am operating out of our Scottsdale, Arizona office with Engel and Völkers as well. So I got licensed last year in Arizona, and we do a lot of volume both in Arizona and in Cabo as well.
I love that. Question just around licensing. How hard is it to get your license in Mexico? I have a number of friends in the States, so I feel like I have my head wrapped around that one. But for Mexico, how is that?
So if you, in Cabo, it's not too many hours, whereas in Tulum, it's 120 hours for the Quintana Roo kind of license process. And then in Cabo, it's about only 18 hours, but there's a more kind of rigorous test at the end, and the package they make you put together for a buy and also a sell, and they watch you and rank you that way. But it's not hard per se, in the sense the regulations and the rules in Vancouver, and that's insanely hard compared to, say, getting your license in Mexico. But there are rules around work permits and visas and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's still a process, but it's not hard. I think Allie for Arizona was, I would never want to do that. She had 2 exams.
Yeah, there was a state exam. So a school exam and a state exam. So I did it in, I think we did it, I did it in 5.5 weeks. I didn't have time. At the time I was doing it, my son was 1.5 years old. And so I was like, I got to power through this. If I don't power through this now, I'm not going to do this. Like the energy is just not going to be there. So I would get up at 6 a.m, and between 6 and 8, I would do a course because it was like an online course, and each course was like 2 to 3 hours. Then there'd be a test at the end, and then you got to study. So I would do 6 to 8 in the morning, and then we'd put my son to sleep, and then I would do 8 to 10 at night. And I just did that for 5.5 weeks. I just powered through and got it done. I was like, I'm not failing this because I can't go back and do this test again. There's no way. So I did pass both the first time.
Oh my God. That resonates with me so much. I was going to ask you if you guys have kids at all, because I have 2 kids, and yeah, getting your license with a kid hanging around is not for the faint of heart, because I did the same thing. I was like, my mat leave's going to run out. This was 10 years ago. I was like, my mat leave's going to run out. I don't know how I'm going to survive going back to school for psychology and serving at a local pub and having a baby. That's not happening. So I did the same thing, but for my license here in BC. And I was like, woke up 3 months later with my license because I was like, this is do or die. So I love the mindset. I think that's like the only way to do it. The people who take the whole year, or like as long as the course will let you take, I feel like that's the worst way to do it. Just powering it through.
I will say just really quickly, when I first tried to get my license, it was actually a year before Amy and I met, and actually a year before I took Fred's course, where we did the condensed 6-week course. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this while I'm serving, and I'm going to do it part-time, and I'm not going to go to school. Oh God, it was like 1.5 years. And I'm like, not even studying. And then that was when I was like, okay, I really want to get my license. I'm doing this. I'm doing the 6-week course. And then I did it. So if you don't have a why or a reason, and you're just kind of, oh, I'm going to take it, it's going to take you 2 or 3 years. It will, because there's no motivation.
I agree with that. And the hard part is that when you do it so slow, you don't remember the stuff that you read in the beginning. If you read chapter 1 and you do all of the questions and assignments for chapters 1 to 3 or whatever, and then a year from now, you're going to get tested on chapter 1, you're not going to remember chapter 1 anymore. Like, it's been too far gone. So I think it's super smart to do it that way. So then, Allie, you said you have 1 kid? Or
yeah, he just turned 4.
Just turned 4. Okay. And then, Amy, do you have any children?
I just have a little mini Dachshund wiener dog.
Little cutie.
So
Like
cute. You know what? Dogs are as much work as kids. So, like, you can't leave them alone for too long. I think that my kid, my 10-year-old, is similar to a dog at this point, because I'm like, you can leave her alone for a little bit, but not too long. You still have to feed her.
They're still needy, still gotta be. They can feed themselves, but you can.
Yeah, you gotta subsidize a little bit. Yeah. But how do you find traveling having a young child? Because splitting your time between the two, and even you having Amy having your dog, and then having to travel back and forth and stuff. How are you finding that?
I think it's just both of us have a lot of support. And whenever we go traveling, we've got support there when we need it. When we can't bring them along, we've got someone.
Or the kid or the puppy come with us.
Yeah, or the kid or the puppy. Yeah, exactly.
Easy.
Yeah.
Throw them on an airplane. I think her son has traveled, I think even more than I have in my life. Like, he has literally been on a plane since he was
2 months old. Yeah. So he has been, and my husband's like the best dad ever. So he's always, if you need to go away for 2 days, go away for 2 days. We got it, or a week, whatever it is. He's Mr. Mom. So I'm very, very grateful. Like, I wouldn't have been able to have a child without him.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like a support system is
how hard we work. You need a very supportive partner.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. Your support system in business alone, it is tough. And then to have a kid on top of that and pets and all the things, yeah. It feels like you're on an island alone. I think having that support system is like really important.
I think Ollie likes life better in the Baja, but I don't know.
Such a sun dog.
He's the lifestyle. He is our.
He loves it.
Yeah. The little mascot.
Yeah, he's our CEO.
We call him.
He tells you what to do. He probably gets you up really early too, right? Like, you can't sleep in with a dog.
Oh no, he is the laziest little bug.
Oh, is he? That's funny. When I had my dogs,
they could sleep forever.
Yeah.
Mine always woke me up so early. I'm like, you're a better boss to me than I am. Actually, the kids too. They get me out of bed. Yeah. But Too funny. Okay, so circling away from the licensing stuff, even though I think that is still a cool conversation, considering that we are talking to realtors. This podcast is for realtors. So anyone who's wanting to get their license, everywhere has different rules and regulations. So figuring out where you're going to get licensed and the process around that, and then reverse engineering how long it's going to take you. Super important for getting your license. BC.
I will say quickly too, like I think one thing that Amy and I have also focused on too is let's be honest, there's a lot of agents that want to pivot and get their licenses, try to get the licenses in the US, try to get it in Mexico, try to get into different countries. And the more conversations we're having with people, we're like, you guys, like, are you moving there? They're like, no. Okay, why don't you start a really good referral system with the agents that are in that market, that specialize in that market, whether it be 30, 35% or whatever it is, instead of you going through that process and doing all the work and still not being there. I think spending all the money, like it just, you work better in collaboration. And we're always like collaboration over competition. And a lot of the agents that are listening to this, if you guys are wanting to get your licenses in Mexico or the US, we're happy to reach out to you guys, reach out to us, and we can connect you guys to the right agents to get your referrals and do stuff cross-border without having to go through the hassle of getting your license. It's a big deal.
So maybe explain to me a little bit more about the cross-border program. I think that's a good segue into the program. Can you guys give me a breakdown as to what that is? What made you decide to actually do the program too, actually?
Yeah. So I think it was more of, we obviously love to travel. After COVID, it was so restrictive. We felt very suffocated, being like, okay, and just needed a challenge. Mm-hmm. It's just, we've been in the business now, I think 11 years. 11 years.
This year, yeah.
And we saw that need for like hyper mobility across borders. We were going to Arizona a lot. Allie and I bought a house there together in 2022 when it was like a buying frenzy for an Airbnb. And we were just always, everywhere we go, we're so interested in real estate, but we're like, how do we tie it all together and programatize it into something that was going to help people? And I think that's the thing that, and we're still working on it. We're still adding amazing agents. We just got a few agents that joined that we know are going to be powerhouses locally here in our market. And then as far as the US, and so we teach the agent how to sell cross-border, the legalities, the accounting. Do they buy in a corp? How does that look like? With how long is a fideicomiso trust when you hold your name? So there's all these things. We can't obviously go through it all. We have all of the right people in the program, so it makes it easy should somebody have a client. Like Allie's been helping this one realtor. She had a client from Victoria, BC, and she closed 2 transactions in Tulum with us. She gets to just connect them with us. We have white glove service. We're all looped in together. And
just a really good referral.
Yeah, she gets a great referral and the client gets a property in paradise.
And I think one of the big things too is we actually had even clients reaching out and talking about, hey, we knew a lot of people that already owned in like Palm Springs and Arizona and even like other parts of the US and even in Mexico. And we're like, why can't we be a part of that? We want to do the same. We want to own properties in the US. We want to have a couple different passports if we can. We want to own and diversify our assets and our portfolio. How can we do it and then teach others how to do the same? And that's how that started as well.
Yeah. So you don't have your, like, for the cross-border program, just out of my own curiosity as well, it's referral partners that you have in the different areas. The cross-border program essentially is a network.
Yes.
So that you can connect people with the right people and help them facilitate the transaction no matter where you are. I've actually looked at investing in the States, and you're right. The information is not super accessible. And yeah, it's like creating, I think there's, again, I could completely get this wrong because you guys are the experts, not me, but I was trying to figure out how to get investments in the States. I've taken a few courses. This was a while ago, so it's not on the tip of my tongue right now, but I remember them talking about setting up like an LLP and another corporation. And then like you still need like a separate bank account, and there's just like a lot of moving parts, right? Here obviously is different than there. So trying to figure out how they connect is quite difficult. So I think that the program is awesome. And I'm all for investing in the States. right now. Yeah, I love it.
There's lots of opportunities, right? Whether, and now that the big beautiful bill has passed, especially for Americans, it's to go buy an Airbnb and offset your taxes by $100, $200, $300,000. It's just wild that you can do that, and it's in play for the next 5 years. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for people, primarily in the U.S.
Okay, so then question for you too, just probably for my own knowledge, but everyone can grab onto it if they like. Are you specifically specialized in different states, or is it kind of across the United States as a whole, or is there certain states that you guys really grab onto for the program, or is it across the whole country?
Because Allie's licensed and fully set up in Arizona, she's handling like everything, all things Arizona. She's at I would say, an expert level after investing herself and buying multiple properties. So I think we always tell people we don't like to spread too thin, in the sense of we're Arizona, we're Cabo, and Tulum. We own in all of those places ourselves. We were the guinea pigs for a lot of mistakes that cost us a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
So we put our money where our mouth is, and we're all about action. And plus now with the real estate brokerage that we own in Tulum, we're super bullish on those specific places
markets,
because of the economic fundamentals that we've studied. So we're not just winging it, being like, oh, we think we're going to be in Arizona or Cabo or Tulum. Those are our main places. We know them inside and out. We have teams set up, property managers, the whole thing. If somebody wants to say, Allie was just down in Texas and doing flips with friends and family and all this fun stuff, we can help with that. Like, we have such strategic alliances with other people. In Mexico, we can sell in San Miguel, that just won the world's top city in the world. And we have an Engel Völkers there, and we know the owners. So everyone's very taken care of when they come into our little system. We won't say little because it's massive, but we are proud with that because we can pair them with somebody who knows much more than us in their markets, but they're investment focused if that person needs. Because as we know, if they don't invest themselves, if they don't know how to run a pro forma or even what that P word means, which is a lot of realtors these days, they won't be able to calculate the ROI, cash on cash return, like what is it doing, what the appreciation potential is. And that's not how we work. We're super picky. We say no more than we say yes to opportunities. And that's why we have amassed quite a big portfolio ourselves. And then we help a lot of clients and high net worth individuals as well, because they need a level of expertise that is very hard to come by these days, we're finding.
Yeah. And also with that too, like a lot of clients will come to us and say, oh, we were trying to get something in Idaho, or we're trying to get somewhere else. And we were talking to this agent and they said they were investment focused and they had no idea, like they couldn't even run numbers. So we can strategically, like Amy said, place you with a great agent in Idaho, in Portland, in New York, in Denver. We've got offices like Engel Völkers shops throughout the US with experts in these areas. So we can connect you, and we're confident with whoever we send you to that they are going to be just like us with numbers, analytics, everything. So yeah, we've been establishing the relationships for the last 5 years, and now we've got it down to a science with a handful of agents throughout the US and in Mexico.
That is super scary to think that it's highly possible, not even just for what you guys are talking about with the cross-border program, but just in general, that people within industries, not even just like real estate specific, can do all this research online and take a course and then say that they have, I don't know if they would necessarily say that they have experience or what have you, but having firsthand experience and knowledge and being able to say, I felt this pain, and directing people where they need to go based off of that, I think is another level of service. So the fact that you guys have done the thing that you're teaching people to do, it is scary to think that there's a lot of people who just take courses and then they want to share that information, which is great. Go ahead, share information, but don't use your clients as guinea pigs.
Never.
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's a lot of money.
That's scary to us.
Yeah.
We have to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's a lot of money. So what do you think you would do differently now? If you were to create this program again, or for anybody who is wanting to create a program around anything, what would you say you would probably do differently this time if you were going to start from the beginning again?
I don't think I do anything different.
I don't think I would either. No, I think
Yeah.
obviously there was a few mistakes. I think one thing I would say is when we bought our first property in Arizona, I think we probably should have vetted the agent better. I'd say that's the only thing.
I think because Allie wasn't set up yet.
I wasn't. Yeah, it was like a couple years before I got set up, and it was this agent, young guy. We're like, okay, he's so gung ho. But he did not like. We ended up buying a couple properties, and both of them, to be honest, weren't the best. If we were both down there, we wouldn't have chose either of them.
Ooh.
And so that's the only thing that I would do differently is we would have flown down there and actually seen what he was looking at and seen his eyes and be like, okay, this doesn't match with us, and pivot and work with someone else. That's the only thing that I would change.
I think I agree with that. It's more of, you have to touch, feel, and see it now. So before, like when Allie bought her villa in Tulum, like she had never gone, and the numbers work and it's great because we had the trust there. Whereas when we first started in Arizona, we didn't really have like it as a program yet. And so we had to be those guinea pigs. But on the flip side of that, we learned so much that we were like, it really does matter. You can't just buy a house because the numbers work. It's got to have, we call it street energy. Like it's got to have something that feels good when you're driving to it, and that you touch the walls and you can see everything, and it's not going to implode like a deck of cards, which we felt like our house was going to.
Oh God.
But it still did 87,000 in its first year, and on Airbnb, pretty decent for what we put down. So it worked out. I think we're like the strange people that we like when things don't work. I know that's so strange.
No, I don't think so. The reason I ask you the question is because I think that failure is the fastest teacher. Totally. I would say fail forward. I'm like, the more mistakes you make, the faster you're going to get to a really great place, because the people who are scared of making mistakes are the ones that don't go anywhere.
Amen.
So I like the mistakes. That's why I'm asking you, because I'm like, I think that mistakes are important and that we should learn from the mistakes and like just pivot. So yeah, I like the feedback. I think that is actually an important thing. Like I said, I think it's scary to think that somebody can present themselves and market themselves really well as an expert in something, but then never have done the thing. So here we are back at that same kind of point that you made the mistake and you learn from it, and now I'm gonna not do that, because I considered it where I was like, I'm just gonna buy it and trust the person. But you can't trust everyone, unfortunately. You have to have those advisors in that area that you know are gonna do a good job, and you guys have built the network for it. Like, those relationships are very valuable and they're hard to come by. Arizona was your first place, and then you expanded into Mexico after that. So how did that go? Like, why? Yeah. How did that go?
2021 is when I bought in Cabo. And again, it just spoke to me. I remember looking out. I was with my really good friend at the time, and she's a teacher, and we just hopped on a plane and went in, I remember August, which isn't the best time to go because it was really hot, but
just like Arizona, you're like in the middle of the summer, you're like,
yeah. I just remember feeling like that feeling of being captivated by where I was. It was just so beautiful. And then, yeah, it ended up buying there, still have that one. Super excited because Allie bought in the next phase. So
should have bought in the first one. But
it's okay. You're still there, and it's just stunning.
Yeah.
So really excited to be there. And we sold a lot of our family friends and other colleagues into actually the same development. So we're really excited to have a good crew there. A lot of the times when we buy and pre-vet the properties now, we have like kind of a lineup behind us, because they know that we'll never steer them wrong, and a good investment. And so yeah, we've gone to Cabo, and then Tulum was a place that it was really like growing infrastructure wise, brand new airport. So it ticked off a lot of the checklists we look for our clients and ourselves when we're investing. We saw all the luxury brands going in, from Soho House to Nobu to Mandarin Oriental to Ritz-Carlton to the SLS to the Standard. The list goes on. And we've done really well with a circumference on a map saying, okay, where is the new Nobu going, or where is the Ritz? And circling on a map saying, okay, they've done all the R&D. They've spent millions of dollars before they go into a market. let's buy around the corner, knowing this information ahead of time.
Yeah.
And the wave that you experience just in appreciation alone, it's something that we've done many times. So it's not anything new to us, but we're always looking for that for our clients. And as Allie will always say, we kept looking further and further. And that's why we've expanded so much, because in Canada, we have a lot of clients that will not be buying investment properties anymore. It's unfortunate because we absolutely love Canada, and it's not about that. It's just more the numbers don't work here.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I'm like, I'm gonna liquidate my Canadian real estate and put it somewhere else. So the numbers just aren't really working like they were before.
Totally. I just talked to actually an Engel Völkers agent from Ontario, Barrie, Ontario, and it cost him like $46,000 to get this woman out of his house, his rental house, months and months. So that was including lawyer fees, like 10 months of missed rent. Like it was just wild. And I can't do it anymore. I love Canada. I'm always going to be in Canada. I'm going to stay in Canada. I'm going to raise my kids. His kids are young, but I am no longer investing. It hurts to hear that, because we do love Canada and we still own rental properties in Canada. And we do see that they're like, for us, it's like, we've been doing it since we were 24 years old, buying real estate. So it's like, man, it does hurt seeing that. But the rules and regulations in other countries are just far more favorable, right? Like you can kick out
you in green tape, not
red tape.
Red tape.
So if you're owning a property, own the property. Like I know California is different. We don't do a lot of stuff like in California. I know in Arizona or in Mississippi or in other states of the US, right? You have way more control of your property than you do in Canada. So that's desirable, right? As an investor, you want to be able to have and own your property and be able to know what's going on at all times and be able to regulate it. Here you can't.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. And so I think at the beginning I had mentioned I had accumulated a number of rentals as well. And when I love investors, right? Because probably similar to you guys, right? What you know is the people that you gravitate towards and that you want to help people do the same thing that you did. So when I would meet clients that were wanting to get into investing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. And that you're calculating out the rate of return and your projected like appreciation and all of that kind of stuff, right? And so then I know for myself that I'm like, okay, I think the season is past, that the return on investment, the way that it was, is on its way out. And I think that there was one investment that I held on probably longer than I should have. I think maybe that's a lesson for myself to have learned, is that as it's going, don't hold on too long, like pivot, be okay with pivoting a little bit faster than I did. But yeah, the rules and regulations here are not in favor of landlords. It's a little bit painful because they want you to invest in Canada, and we have a serious lack of housing. Yet the rules are so backwards for protecting yourself. I'm like, the amount of vulnerability and exposure that we have as landlords, it does not make sense to put your money into an investment here unless the numbers are really good. But that's tough because our price points are so freaking high. It's wild. So yeah, I'm the same. I'm definitely unplugging from here. And I can't on a good conscience go to my investor clients or talk to people saying, oh, you should invest here, because I'm not even really investing here anymore.
Yeah, it's negative.
So you're solving a problem too, right? That's one of the big things whenever you're creating programs and businesses, is that if you can solve a problem, then people will come to you. So yes, I think that even investment wise, not even just buying rec properties for fun, there's opportunity there for people to move their money around and get that return and less vulnerability in the States, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah. Bittersweet, maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit. So I do want to change gears a little bit, because you guys are killing it in the Lower Mainland. And I am curious
to the last 3 weeks.
A whirlwind. Yeah, that's amazing. So I want to know marketing, all the things. So what do you think has set you guys apart from the other agents in the Lower Mainland and helped you grow your business for you guys to get into that top 1%?
Yeah, I think it's obviously thinking outside the box a lot. It's like right now we're working on, obviously, because I have a little wiener dog and I'm part of a bunch of dog groups now, just as an example, because it's recent and we were literally just talking about it this morning, having a party, a fun real estate inspired get together for people that own wiener dogs. And so
You're adorable. You're gonna have to show me a picture of this wiener dog after. Okay.
So things like that, where it can be, we'll go the extra mile and it will be very purposeful. So say we're targeting people and expanding their minds for cross-border, then our wiener dog party is themed for Mexico.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got little ponchos, they've got the little hats and sombreros, they've got dog dishes and dog houses up for grabs. Just fun things but it's we call it purposeful marketing. Every single thing Allie and I do, whether we have umbrellas that we give away during the rainy season for a touch point for our clients, it's got our branding on it. When we opened in Arizona and Cabo a couple years ago, we gave everyone a little bottle of Casamigos tequila.
And cactuses.
And there's something else.
And it started the conversation though, because they're like, oh, cactuses and tequila. We're like, yeah, we're super excited. We're opening in Scottsdale, Arizona and in Los Cabos, Mexico. And people were like, what? What are you doing? We want to come. Fill us in more.
Yeah,
so
it was fun.
Yeah.
But I think that's the part is we have fun. It's like extremely important to us. We're like, why do we work so hard day in and day out if we're not having fun? We're trying to always do things outside the box, whether it's a dash and fun dog meetup, but it's also getting people to think about real estate, cross-border, because maybe their dogs would like some sun too. Certain things like that. Or we do our cash flow game night where people come in and strangers come, like-minded people, like you're saying, they come to talk about retiring early and retiring happier and healthier and wealthier. And so we're always doing that. We always talk about even presenting at universities. And,
which we're going to do, we'll do quite a bit of like next year, I think, in Arizona.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go to the U of A and wear their hoodies and act like we're still in university.
Yeah. Still college kids.
And then we're going to look at them and say, how do you not own real estate with being able to put 3% down? Hello.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of people just don't know. They don't know what you don't know. And so there are some people where I've met, like even like you being young in Arizona, like, oh yeah, like I started buying real estate when I was 21 years old with zero down. And then now it's like, I live in a property, I put a 3% down. I live in a property for 2 years and then I move. Like there are people that know what to do and are progressive, but there's a lot of people that have money that are just so lost. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah. They're not like, they're so depressed. And we're trying to like extract that and change it right now. And everyone's okay. You girls are the only, what sets us apart is a lot of the times, like right now, especially is historically slow. July, August, it's a dead zone. And at the office, no one's there. And our receptionist was like, you girls and your team are the only ones that we see every day. And that goes a long way because we love when it's slow. We're always tweaking, formulating our next event. And today, actually, after we are done talking to you, we have our team and we are all together today to figure out a mastermind with our database for canceled listings, like people that they can't rent or they couldn't get the price they wanted because the market's so soft, and then they rent it out. We don't ever want to lose that client. Oh, bless you.
Excuse me.
So we are getting together to say, okay, yes, we've lost that client. How are we going to get them back in a year? Set a reminder, send them some updates throughout the year, and make sure that they still stay in that wheelhouse. Whether Allie's in Arizona, I'm in Cabo, or we're out helping the brokerage in Tulum, it's so important to us. And I think that's what everyone doesn't see on Instagram. They don't see us working feverishly in the back end.
All the Zoom calls, all the research, all the stuff we've been doing like every day. People don't see it, but we are working really hard behind the scenes. And just even with like our investors, I wouldn't say primarily, but I would say over the last 4 years, we have sold over 100, 125 pre-sales over the last 5 years. Easily, we were doing 25, 30 pre-sales a year. Now they've all been completed. Some of them have been completed for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And they're like, what do we do next? We don't want to buy in Canada because of the rules and regulations and returns and appreciation. Now it's appreciated.
Interest rates are so
Where do we
high
go? okay, great. Let's see what you're going to sell for and then pivot. And then we have the conversation whether you're going to go to the US or to Mexico, depending on do you want lifestyle? Do you want to go the investment route and just start earning USD and have a US asset to your portfolio? Like, what do you want to do? And there are so many opportunities that we can get you into that you control your own asset, right? No one else controls it, but you can kick whoever out you want. And if they're not paying, and there's just more opportunities and more areas for growth, primarily in Tulum. Like, we do see that market appreciating a lot over the next 3 to 5 years. And so we've been very bullish on that market, because who doesn't want to have a cerveza in the afternoon in sunshine and have property pay for itself? Yeah.
And especially with the airport, like we just keep saying, you wish you bought in Cabo before they had a new international airport. You wish you bought in Vegas or Arizona or Dubai. Like, those markets skyrocketed after they opened their doors to a new airport. And they only do that because there's so much population growth and people coming in that they have to for demand. So again, you're buying in and around there and within a 30-minute, 45-minute drive, and the prices are so good. Like Allie's villa that she bought in Tulum was like around 300 and how much was
like
it?
320.
Yeah, 320,000. It's got 2 personal pools. A pool here in Vancouver would probably cost $250,000. A pool, just the pool.
That's amazing.
And when we were looking at ROI, it's okay. So say it brings in $30,000 a year. Okay. Say a $320,000 property brings in $35,000 a year. That's still more than a $300,000 property here will bring you in about $18,000 a year Canadian. So it's a big difference when you're looking at that appreciation and the cash flow.
And it won't come with 2 pools.
And it won't come with 2 pools. Hopefully it'll do 60 to 80 or 100 grand a year, but we're very conservative on our numbers so that when clients do buy, their expectations are exceeded, right? And they're like, this is amazing. We not only have a property that's cash flowing, but we can also use it for 2 or 3 months of the year.
And have free vacations, because it's like, to take a family right now, especially with you 2 having kids, it's just, I don't know how.
It's wild.
Our 1 week in Hawaii is going to cost us 10 grand.
It's insane.
Yeah. We're going over Christmas, but it's still that's what it's going to cost. Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. I was looking at traveling recently and I'm just like, like, it's just.
I'd rather stay in a property that I own that is only going to cost me maybe $500 for being there than spending 6-7 grand.
Yeah. Cause even the flights alone from Canada are insane. Like, all of my friends that live in the States, flying in the States, it's nothing. Like, flying here is so expensive, and timeline wise is wild. So yeah, like the flight
from Seattle to Arizona for $200 return. Vancouver, like when I go back and forth, Vancouver to Arizona is like $1,500. Sometimes it's
insane.
Why?
Yeah, if you can save on where you're staying,
$1,500. Yeah.
Save where you're staying, because you're going to have to pay the flight anyway. So if you can at least buy a place there that you're saving on that part, yeah, that's.
And you're building equity. So it's
like your guests are paying it off when you're not there. It's awesome.
And then something that you had mentioned too, I think I just asked you the question, like, what kind of sets you apart? But as I'm like listening to you guys talk about this, number one, I feel like it lights you up. Like, you guys just seem so like energetic and excited, and no matter what you are doing, I believe this as well. I'm like, if it ain't fun, I'm not doing it. I was like, I don't have time for anything that doesn't fill my cup and is fun.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It has to be fun. I have to be passionate about it. And I think a lot of people get into this business because they see the paychecks and they see the cars and they see all this stuff. And I'm like, if it doesn't light you up, then you're not going to stay in the business. There's like an 87% failure rate between the first 3 to 5 years. So if you do get into the business, picking a niche that you are insanely passionate about and that you love makes it so that you go to the office every single day. Like you said, in the summer when it's quiet and everyone's like, there's so many people complaining about it being quiet, but I'm like, this is your opportunity. Like you said, to do the things that you've been planning on doing, right? Redo your buyer's guide, redo your seller's guide. Think of some fun programs that you can implement. What is it that you do differently than others that you can share and implement? And this is your opportunity to actually like do the things.
Totally. We've heard so many people complain, like a lot of agents complain. And I think the reason why we've done like 10 deals in the last 3.5 weeks, or 12 deals, I think, in the last month is because our energy is in it. Like we're not, of course, we're all taking vacations right now, but our energy is still in it, right? We're still focused. We're still speaking to our clients. We're still helping them navigate sales and buys and everything. Like we're still in it. A lot of people we've been talking to, they're like, it's just dead. So I'm on vacation. What's the point of even doing anything? No one's even selling anything. The market sucks. If that's the energy you're going to have, you're not going to do any business. No one's going to want to work with you.
You're like, the market doesn't suck. The market's just the market.
Yeah, we love this market.
Yeah, we always say to our advisors in Tulum, it's like, do they need a roof over their head? Did they disappear off the planet? Find them something that they're going to love. There's no excuse. It's just it's a mindset. It's either you have a barrier or you break through it, or that doesn't even exist. Like for us, barriers don't exist. We laugh at, we're like, that's a barrier. Like how quickly and how crazy can we like barricade through that and bust it open? Because it's a challenge for us. Like we love that.
Yeah, I love the puzzle. I'm like, how can we solve this problem? Exactly. Or who do I know that can help solve this problem? That's crazy. I feel like real estate is the way the agents talk about the market is the way that some people talk about the weather. And it's just the weather. Like we're going to go through these seasons and different weather patterns every single year. So you might as well get used to it and enjoy the seasons as they're here. As soon as it gets hot, people are complaining it's too hot.
Totally.
And then as soon as it gets cold out, they're complaining that it's too cold. I'm like, just be okay with it and enjoy the things that come with those seasons instead of complaining about it. I feel like I'm glass half full all the time. You sound like you guys are also glass half full all the time. Someone once told me that I walk around with rose-colored glasses. And I'm like, but what other way is there to be?
Don't change that.
Yeah, never ever. The
What
world's
other way is there to be?
Negative things we want. We gotta be positive.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we have been chatting for almost an hour, so I want to give you guys open floor for anything else that you guys are like, this is really important to us and we want other agents to know about this, because I could ask you a million questions, but I just want, if there was anything that you guys are like, this is really important to us that we want to share so that people know where to find certain information or how to execute certain things that you guys are experts in, I want to just give you the floor for a second and see.
Yeah.
Good and juicy.
There you go. I was going to talk the cross-border.
Oh, yeah, go. Yeah, don't, Allie, go.
No, I was just going to say, throughout starting the cross-border program, there's a lot of agents that we've come across and they're like, I could never sell cross-border. I could never sell cross-border. Like my clients wouldn't be into that. And then Amy comes up with her beautiful email and sends it to the agent and they send it out to their clients. And there's 20 people that respond like, oh, wow, like I had no idea that you had access to this type of information. So I think if you are stuck right now in a market that's not moving and none of your clients are buying, especially if you're an investor, none of your clients are buying in the market you're in currently, I think you pivot and reach out to us and reach out to other agents that are doing things in other markets, whether that's Mexico, US, or other parts of Canada. Probably won't be other parts of Canada if it's an investment, and provide them value and access to other information and other investment opportunities elsewhere. Because if your investors aren't buying, you're not doing any business. But you could do business by referrals if you knew who to contact.
Yeah, it's offering value. I think that's a really good point. I think for us, it took 9 years for us to hit number one in our Engel Völkers Vancouver office. And we literally, it was a pinch me moment for us because it was a really slow market in 2023. Everyone's like, how could it get worse? It was so bad. And then 2024 hit and everyone's, oh my God, 2023 looked good compared to 2024. Now we're all in 2025 going, we're just going on vacation. Like it's just been, we're not used to this. We were spoiled at one point in 2017.
Don't fast forward our lives, okay? I want to enjoy the next couple of years. Just kidding.
So spoiled in 2017, 2018, spoiled in whatever, February 2022, March. Those were like the peaks that were just nuts. And then people were like, oh, now I have to work. Like, oh, I've got to really put my head down and figure this out. And that's what we're wanting to relay to anyone listening or that wants to become a realtor, or maybe you're seasoned and you feel stuck. Because we talk to a lot of agents in our office. But for us, the reason we hit number one when we reflect back We have the creme de la creme of agents in our office. My God, growing up as a realtor, we were in awe of them. Yeah. And no one knew how we did it. And how we did it was because we were helping people like essentially sell their negative performing, cash flow negative properties locally and then selling them over in Mexico or Arizona. So we were getting the one end of that sale, then changing them over. And so we were getting two. And we also won for the office the top referral partner in all of the Americas, every state, every like different province, even Mexico, because we were doing so many referrals. So I think we are so passionate about it because we're in it every day. And Allie said, like, definitely just reach out. We love to work with other agents. We have a policy that it's not about the brokerage per se. We obviously love Engel Völkers and we eat, breathe, and sleep it. And we're not switching anytime soon. But we work with, it could be a RE/MAX agent or someone from EXP or one from Real Brokers. We want to elevate everybody. And it's important for our industry, especially with AI. It's like being relevant, being purposeful, being a value add to your clients. What sets you apart? You have to work on that every day or you will drown and you'll be kicked to the curb within 2 seconds. If we are in the future, you don't want to be replaced. And the people that won't be replaced are the ones that have a toolbox that are brimming out because they've spent the time in the slow season to work on their craft. So that's all we wanted to touch on today.
The collaboration is amazing. And I actually said this on a podcast that I had with a new friend of mine last week. And we were talking about how when I first started in the industry 10 years ago, everyone had secrets. It was like, no, I don't want you to know what I'm doing. And it's a secret and I'm not sharing it and all this stuff. It was very much dog eat dog and everyone's after all the same people. Yeah. But now I feel like we've pivoted into more of a collaborative approach. You guys have been in the business 11 years, you said. I am on my 10th year and I just feel like we've transitioned into this collaboration, which is so much better for the industry. Our goal is to help our clients buy and sell real estate and be advised well and well taken care of. And if we keep all of our cards close to our chest and we're not sharing that information, I just don't think that it is in the best interest of the consumer at all. So I'm glad that we have the same mindset around that. And then I just want to cement this home for people too, because you guys are massive problem solvers by the sounds of this conversation. And that is a massive difference. I've said it earlier, but it is a huge difference between agents who are doing something and the ones that aren't really doing anything. And you can still have your vacations. I'm not saying that you need to burn out, right? Like we have lives. It should be fun. But at the same time, how many conversations are you having on a daily basis? Because you should know that. And when you're having those conversations with people and they're having their objections, I'm not investing right now because XYZ, you've asked the question, like, why? And then you wrote it down, I'm sure. And you're like, and then you walk away from the conversation. You're like, how do we solve this problem? And then you go back with solutions. And I think that is just so wildly different than so many people in this industry where they're like, oh, I can't help you. And then you just hang up. Where having the conversation, hearing the problem, solving the problem, and then growing your database and that referral network, I think, yeah, you guys, it's like the perfect storm. So I really wanted to send home that problem solving part because it is a huge hole, I think, for a lot of people that they're not solving problems. If you're not solving problems, you're not going anywhere.
So true.
So people can find you. I'm going to put your website in the show notes. I'm going to reach out to you guys personally for the cross-border program. Yes. I love all this information. I just like absorbing everything. And whether you're wanting to do something today or even like a year from now or 5 years from now, I feel like the more information you have, the better. So regardless of me doing this tomorrow or 5 years from now, I still want the information. And anybody who's listening to this should also want the information. So website, all I see is Allie and Amy actually on my notes here. So can you remind me what your website is?
So it's amyandally.com. And then on Instagram, it's at Ally Ballam and then at Amy Ames. But our cross-border one is just at the cross-border or at cross-border program.
Oh, okay. Super easy. I love it when things are easy to find. We don't
tried
need
it.
any of those like dash, underscore, whatever. I actually got super lucky. My mom says this all the time. You're welcome for giving you your name because like you're the only one. I was the only one for a long time. Now there's more Skyleighs, but I have the email address skyleigh@hotmail.com. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
No dashes, no last name, no 5s, 9s, and 7s on the end, nothing. It's crazy.
Amazing.
So that forever.
Right? But yeah, I love that your guys' Instagram handles and the website is super easy to find. So people will find you. I want them to go share a bunch of love with you and look into the cross-border program.
Thank you for having us.
At the top of my list.
Love it.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of Real Estate Real Talk. Whether you're an agent building your business or a buyer or seller trying to get the real story, thanks for being here. If this episode gave you clarity, confidence, or just something to talk about, I'd love for you to follow, rate, and share the show. It helps more people find these conversations. If you have questions or want to connect, head over to SkyleighMcCallum.com or come hang out with me on Instagram. Thanks for listening, and I hope you catch the next episode on Real Estate Real Talk.